What's good? It's your boy, the Real Chief A1, and you're now watching Hip Hop Natives Podcast. What's good? It's your boy, the Real Chief A1. You're now watching the Hip Hop Native Podcast. This episode 1, season 1. You know what I mean? Name the show Hip Hop Native because I'm like one of them real hip hop natives. Yeah, the Real Chief A1. We Native American, and like I'm a native of hip hop. That's what it really means. Basically, like being born into hip hop, being from the culture and shit like that. So if y'all see any of my videos, y'all know, any of my YouTube shit, y'all know that, you know what I'm saying, I'm from Long Island, New York. You know what I'm saying? I migrate back and forth from Maryland, D.C., Virginia to North Carolina to see my family and all like that. We all from the reservations, tribes and shit like that, but we natives of hip hop. I was born in Long Island, New York. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was born, you know, my parents is all into hip hop. You know, my uncles and all that was all in hip hop. And we was from Wyandanch, Long Island, and that's where Rakim is from, and they all knew Rakim, and they was close, you know what I'm saying, proximity to him and his brothers and all like that. So I was born into the game. Like, I want to tell from inside the culture. I see a lot of podcasts and web shows and platforms that's a lot of outsiders from the culture. They on there giving their opinions of the culture, but don't really got no ties to the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a deep thing, I think, that we got going on in hip-hop, because you got a lot of artists who won't come and fuck with their own, but they go on these other platforms and give them the content. They go on these other platforms and tell their stories, almost indict themselves on some of these stories, and it's just crazy to me, you know what I'm saying? And the people interviewing them, their main goal is to just overtalk the guests and, you know what I'm saying, get loud, overtalk their co-hosts and give their opinions and tell them about our community, but they ain't talking about their community. You know what I'm saying? It's real tricky in the industry right now, and I feel like people gravitate towards those type of platforms. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of shit going on right now where people are, trying to, what it's called, cancel culture or whatever, even though that ain't that's some bullshit. You got people trying to cancel people for what they say, but then you got people in that same culture supporting what these other people saying. You should be supporting people who look like you. You should supporting natives of the game, people who put they foot down, hard work, independent. They was raised into this game, not running to these other platforms, just giving them the content, the numbers, and the support. But you ain't giving your own people the support. So that's what I'm going to do right now, give support to all the people I fuck with. All right, so we're going to let you know a couple of people that we rocking with right now. I know y'all familiar with some of them, but like, we're going to give a shout out to the 85 South Show, Carlos Miller. You know what I'm saying? Chico Bean, DC Young Fly. That shit is crazy. Support them. Go run their numbers up. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to Q from World Star. World Star was a black-owned company. We're not sure who's running it right now, but you know what I'm saying? Support to World Star. Yo, Doggy Diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Forbes DVD. I need to show some love to that because he's one of the originators. You know what I'm saying? I seen he was just like on the news or something like that. They had him on the news real quick. MREC, who came from, you know what I'm saying, platform, Doggy Diamonds, MREC. MREC TV shit is fire. Star Report, shout out to Star. Shout out to Gilly and Wallow. They doing their thing. If y'all not familiar with that, go check in, tap in with $1 million worth of game. You know what I mean? Sean Cotton, Say Cheese TV. Their platform is booming. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give a little bit of shout out to them motherfuckers because Sean Cotton been doing this thing, even though he feed into the bullshit a little bit too, but like we give him his props and shit. Joe Buttons, of course. His platform crazy. He going crazy on his shit. Who else? Shout out to the old school. You know what I'm saying? Like Ralph McDaniels. We got a whole nother podcast we're going to do about that. Shout out to Ralph McDaniels. We performed. I was like a little teenager and shit performing at Ralph McDaniels Brooklyn Block Party. That was with R.I.P. Sean Price. LOX was there. It was just a bunch of underground people, and then LOX, Sean Price, Boot Camp Click and shit like that. That shit was fire. That was back in the days when I was a little teeny bopper. But that shit was fire. Shout out to Craig Smith. That shit was dope too. Black creator. He was on All Def Digital and all that shit. With Kev on Stage and all them. Shout out Kev on Stage. His shit alright too. Like I fuck with that. That's a content creator. Like he got a whole platform that's going crazy. Who else? Precious and Kamira. What is this shit called? On These Hoes? Whatever they podcast is, that shit popping too. Shout out to y'all black female creators out here doing their thing. They was rocking with All Def too. Big Facts podcast. Shout out to Big Bank and all y'all doing y'all shit. Those black creators. This is 50. 50 going crazy with stars and all them shits he got going on. He content king right now. Nori, EFN, shit like that. But back to regular scheduled program. It's your boy, the real Chief A1. You tuned into Hip Hop Natives Podcast, Episode 1, Season 1. We here at Artist Mills, Studio, black owned. Want to shout them out again. Shout out to my nigga Dre. Yeah. All right, so if you got any questions or comments or you want to chime in on the topics and shit, just text this number, 631-238-1031. Some Halloween shit. 631-238-1031. Text your questions, comments, topics, or any feedback that you got on the podcast. We try to get your shit in. We got a few questions from Instagram. I'm going to read these. Basic questions. What artists have I worked with? As far as working with artists, Capone from Capone and Noriega, we did a song with him back when I was in high school and shit like that. Got beats from EPMD, what's his name? Eric Sherman. Perform with more artists than work with. I perform with, like I said, Fab, Little Mo, Fat Joe, like I said, Boot Clamp, Locks, Style Sheet, Philly out there with Gilly, Major Figures, and State Property back in the day. I did a lot of shit in the industry when I was barely a teenager, and that's why I got the experience and talk about what I'm talking about and experience to just be, giving my feedback about my experience. I ain't going to be on here gossiping, talking about topics from that everybody else talk about, the mainstream topics, the viral moments and shit like that. We might give a little feedback on certain shit, but it got to pertain to me. I'm just not out here gossiping and talking to everybody else's situation. I'm just talking from my experiences in the game, from Def Jam deals that went sour, from, working with these artists, Gravy, the one who played Big in the Biggie movie and Tupac movie. We did a couple songs with him. He used to be in the same studio with us, rubbing shoulders before he got any of that shit. He got a movie with my cousin. Shout out to Dessa, what up? 15th and Dessa. Shout out to Cess Marlowe on Instagram. He got a movie with him. He used to be in the studios, Priceless Productions over there in Deer Park. But as far as performing, we perform with a lot of artists. We working with some people right now. And that goes into the second question y'all asked. Any new projects or collabs coming soon? Yeah, we got 2 new projects. We doing the documentary, From Now to Then, Past, Present, Future documentary. And we got the soundtrack for that coming. And I'm going to do a little EP after that or before that, little 6 or 7 songs. Collabs, who we got? I'm going to do a song with Big Pun's son, Chris Rivers, Dragons Rivers. We're going to do a song. We're working that out right now. The twins from Cali, what's their name? Kamaya in China. I'm going to see their name. They fired. They performed at the pre-show at the Super Bowl. We're going to do a song with them. Zia Baby. A couple of artists we're going to do a song with. You'll see the features when we drop the shit, but let me see the next question I got. Dumb shit in here, but how'd I get my name? Chief A. That's a funny question. I feel like we should make a whole nother episode on that shit right there. How I get my name, the real Chief A1. All right, so like I said in the beginning of this shit, Hip Hop Natives Podcast, and that ain't really a play on the Native American type shit, but when I was coming up with one of my first group names, you know what I'm saying? First I had the Rare Breed shit. I gave that to my cousin came home, R.I.P. Angry. I gave that to him because when he came home, he was on some, some gang shit. He liked the way the R.B. and the shit, you know what I'm saying? He turned that to his own thing, respect shit with the dog. We had that shit first. We did shit. That's the shit we almost got the Def Jam off. The Def Jam deal off of. When he came home, you know what I'm saying? I let him rock with the Rare Breed shit. I had my own shit. and I teamed up with one person. I think it was one or two people. I teamed up with like one or two people, and I started the shit. I was like America's First Entertainment. America's First. I was doing some shit with the Native American, the Indian head, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I was fucking with like one or two people, and they was telling me, yeah, nah, I don't fuck with that shit. I ain't Native American, and what the fuck is this? And you know what I'm saying? People trying to clown it or whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. So I end up falling out with those people. It wasn't over that situation. It was just over whatever. I ended up falling out with those people, and I just came back. Cool. I'm gonna name this shit. I'm gonna name myself. Matter of fact, no, I was like, I'm gonna name this shit America's First Entertainment, A First Entertainment, which is a play off the Native American shit. I was hot in the hood when I first began rapping. I was like youngin'. Once I started getting older, getting to a whole bunch of shit in the hood, I was hot in the hood, so I didn't really put my face on covers. I just put an Indian head. I put the headdress on the shit. I put a totem pole on the shit. I put a tomahawk on the shit, but it never was really my face. You know what I'm saying? It was just America's First Entertainment or A First Entertainment, A1 Entertainment with the Indian head, some kind of like native background on the cover. So I used to sell these shits in Times Square. I used to be running around selling these shits. People were like, what is this? Is it a DVD? Is it a Native American documentary? They didn't know what it was because I didn't put my face on it. I was like, nah, it's a mixtape, whatever. A First Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? They was like, oh, what's the name? My grandma was one of the Native Americans, be on a reservation, flowers in her hair all down her back. She used to tell me as a little kid, like, you like the little chief, like you the youngest, but you making everybody move and shake how you wanted to move. So you like little chief. She used to call me like little chief and shit like that. So I was like, when I got older, you know what I'm saying, niggas call me, you know what I'm saying, A1 because my name was Ali. They used to cut it short, be like, yo, A1, Ali, AI. They used to just make, you know what I'm saying, people just shorten a short name, 3-letter name, they still want to shorten it. So I was A1. So I just put the two together and made the real Chief A1. Like I said, this is back in '06, '08. There was no Chief Keefs. There was no Grand Hustle logo. Shout out to T.I. That's one of my favorite artists and shit like that. And I was just going heavy with the Indian head concepts and shit like that. And we was doing the underground, you know what I'm saying? Like pop trunks, T-shirts, hats, the merch and all that shit back early in those days. So that's how I got the name, The Real Chief A1. That's how I started with the music industry as really making some money. It was with America's First Entertainment. My name was The Real Chief A1. Before it was Rare Breed, Finale, and shit like that. But, you know, once that Def Jam deal went sour, R.I.P. to Shakir Stewart. Shakir Stewart passed away. He's the one responsible for signing Jeezy to Def Jam and I think Ross. And then he passed away. A situation had happened. But he had some people, some white dudes and some other niggas come to the hood and recruit us and call us down about the mixtape and shit, offer us a $40,000 deal. We was getting money. We was like, yo, 40,000. There's two of us, about three of us one time. You know what I mean? It wasn't really worth it. But then, like, they came back, negotiated. I was trying to hit him back a couple weeks, couple months later, and then find out probably like a few months after that he had passed away. So that's why that Def Jam deal went, that Def Jam deal went sour. But at the end of the day, that was a dope experience. That was a part of the reason why I call this shit, like I said, hip hop natives, because we native to the hip hop game. You know what I'm saying? We was rubbing shoulders, you know what I'm saying, doing all kind of shit as little 15, 16-year-old people sneaking in clubs, doing all kind of wild shit in New York, coming down south and fucking going to fucking other shows and venues and performing down here. My cousin had shit popping in Greensboro and Winston-Salem. Had another cousin in Wilmington. We used to always just travel up in the coast selling mixtapes, T-shirts, DVDs back before French Montana had Coke, what was it called? Cocaine City DVDs. We were selling DVDs. When Fendi, the one who signed and got Nicki Minaj her deal, when he had the Come Up DVDs and Smack had the Smack DVDs that had just a battle rap portion in it. It wasn't even battle rap. That's back when Smack wasn't even only doing battle rap. He had the DVDs going. We decided to make a DVD, vlog ourselves running around the hoods, doing shit as kids and shit like that, and put those out, sell them in Town Square and Jamaica Avenue, and people bootlegging them, and we started to get the notoriety of some underground hip hop heads. And then we started getting offers and deals. But like I said, we was out here in the streets as young boys getting money, didn't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? People getting locked up, niggas getting shot. A lot of niggas ain't even here no more to tell their stories. So like we had a crazy experience in this hip hop industry, and I feel like y'all we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of topics and a lot of situations that we've been through, a lot of stories that we, that we could tell, and we got the experience to give y'all some good insight and detail on these topics. So support the podcast, Hip Hop Natives. Go to the YouTube channel, Who is the Real Chief TV. Support the Patreon, patreon.com/Chief TV. Go get you some merch, officialshop.bigcartel.com. Get you some merch and shit like that. We got everything on there. We got these Monopoly Man hoodies. We got the official shit. We got the Child's Play shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, show some support. Support black creators. Last question. No, I think that might just be the last question. Yeah, other people we work with or connected with. Like I said, my favorite person that I met or dealt with in the game was, but hands down, like I said, if you've seen some of the old shit, and if you haven't, go back and check the discography on the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, you know what I'm saying? We about to start moving and shaking. We had it for about a year, but we ain't really posted nothing. You know what I'm saying? So now we trying to get some traffic. So we going to promote. Why I love Lil Mo. Lil Mo was my favorite person to meet. Like, her energy was on cloud nine. Like, she was just so happy and shit like that. And that's why I say we're going to do another one on this too. Fab wasn't scared. He was being careful. Like, Fab, when we pulled up to that show, we pulled up in the backstage. This was a Hot 97's DJ Threat Memorial event, right? In Long Island, Heckscher State Park, right? We pulled up to the back of this thing. We was late. We just found out we had this show probably a day or two before. We had to gather everybody, get together. It was enough of us. We had to get enough cars, everything, get us there. Pulled up. One convertible, one SUV. So it's mad people. It's 5 or 6 people in a convertible. Let me tell you that. A two-seater. Not a two-seater. A two-door. A coupe. 3 people, I think, in the back. 2 people sitting down, 1 person sitting on the top of the sitting on with a convertible top come out, sitting up there. So then we driving through the field. You got to come through security or that, flying through the field. About 6, 7, 8 motherfuckers inside the SUV, the Tahoe, whatever. We come speeding through the back of the field or whatever. Get out the cars. Now it's like 13, 14 of us. You know what I'm saying? It's that many people in 2 vehicles, right? So we pull out. Now we got Mafia, Blade, Ice, me, Dave, his brother, however many people, and Pacino. So Pacino, this is when I was with the Islanders. This is throwback. Pacino wasn't in the group right there. He was dead nice. He wanted to get in the crew and all like that. Like, he wanted to come and perform with everybody. Even if he didn't have no songs at the moment, he wanted to just come and be a part of the shit. So he came, and I think he had 1 song, or he had brung his CD that he wanted to perform. He brung his track. He about to try to give it to the DJ. He coming thinking like, I'm going to put my song on. So him and my man, Frank Mafia, started getting into an argument. We just pulled up. They start getting into an argument, get the scuffling and, you know what I'm saying, moving and shaking on the front of the hood of the truck. Lil Mo, Fabulous, and Paul Kane, his brother, and his whole crew, Brooklyn crew over there in the corner. And they look over. They looking over. They fighting. Yo. We trying to break it up so it look like a bigger scuffle than what it really was. We break this shit up. We see Fab and them niggas looking. Once we start, noticing that actually that's Fab and them, they looking kind of crazy at us. We start to move towards the stage, go walk around, just go, get there and, have some fun and shit before we got to perform. Fab and them niggas looking like they gripped up. They looking like, don't come over this way. Don't say nothing to us. They just go get in their little van, close the door. Lil Mo looking like, all right, that's what y'all niggas doing? She turned. It looked crazy. She turned and just started walking towards us, walking this way, whatever. She walked up, introduced herself. The hot energy on 10. Hey, what's your name? Hey, who you? Yo, you good? Where your setup up? You ain't got no tent? Where your own thing? You ain't got no water? We just all sitting there looking all confused, like, Lil Mo talking to us? Oh, shit, she dope. Like, you ain't got no water here. She gave shit to me, like, here, take mine. You can have this shit. Yo. Niggas like, oh, where you got a little more water? Trying to snatch the shit, all that talking, all this crazy shit. You know what I mean? And Lil Mo walk off. She said, have a good show, whatever. I don't know if I'm going to be here to see y'all. She walked off, but her energy was on 10. I still be hitting her up, talking to her on Instagram. She still gives shout outs and shit like that. But it was crazy because that scene, that environment, the way we pulled up with the whole bullshit rah-rah and being unprepared and just finding out about the situation a couple of days ahead of time, it was crazy. Shit could have went bad for us. Shit could have went bad for everything, but it should turn out to be good. Lil Mo gave us good energy. Fat Joe and his big body, I think that's Macho, one of them, walking around circles and shit, doing laps like they was exercising, can't give us a pound. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, big TS chain. That's back when we had the big TS chain. We teenagers, you know what I'm saying? Oh shit, Fat Joe. My man's sister, she knew, I think it was just Tretch from Naughty by Nature was there. She knew him. She was out there talking to him and shit. And then we just did our show, and Lil Mo was there, and Fat Joe stayed to watch the shit. They gave us a shout out, and they just, came showed love. It was like, yo, y'all shit is dope. So that'd probably be the dopest person I met in the industry. But we had stories for days with everybody. Battling with J. Cole at St. John's College, because y'all know J. Cole went to college in Queens. He from down here in North Carolina. He went to college in Queens. And some of the people that I grew up in the neighborhood out there in Long Island went to college in Queens too, because Queens is part of like Long Island. You don't got to cross a bridge to get there. But that's on some New York bullshit. So like we used to always go, because a couple of older niggas, a couple of niggas we knew used to go to school there. So we used to go there and sneak in the college and just get loopy in there, be in dorms for weeks and shit, go like that. So they used to be like, yo, this dude Jermaine freestyle in the cafeteria certain nights, freestyle. So we went down there, and then it just turned into like it went from like a cipher, that's what you call it back in the day, to like a battle. It was just me and him just like staring each other off, and like, but he was dope as shit. Like it was ill. Like I used to be like, yo, I body J. Cole. When I found out that was him, I was like, nah, he got me. But if anybody out there, y'all white boys who had that footage, you know what I'm saying? Bring that back out. Somebody put that on YouTube. Somebody please bring that footage out. Me and J. Cole going crazy in the cypher at St. John's College. That shit was stupid. Like I want to see that. That shit was dope. Like I said, we're going to do a whole episode on that, because that was a crazy day. That was a crazy experience of how we used to sneak inside the campus when they were doing security. Renovation, security, booth was all down. That's back when we used to sneak into the games and having parties in dorms. It'd be like four rooms in one dorm. It'd be like 2 exchange students who got switched to another dorm because they ain't want to chill in here with these niggas smoking all the time. So they have 2 empty rooms. And it just so happens at that time, that's when we was pulling up to the college. You know what I'm saying? And we just sneak in there, wiggle away, get an ID from somebody who kind of look like you. You know what I'm saying? They let you get their ID, go report their shit lost, go get another one. And we just had our own rooms in the dorm, and we was just going crazy in there. And that was a dope ass experience, yo. That was dope, and that was early. And I used to see. I'm gonna tell you one more thing about that shit, and with the J. Cole situation. With the J. Cole situation, the same person he is right now, the same way he moving around the industry right now, that's the same way he was back in the day. Yo, that dude moved through New York like he was from. It was just like I was like, oh, I got mad shit in common with him. If I be like, I'm not from Brooklyn, or I'm not familiar with or the Bronx and shit like that, or wherever, he was just comfortable, minding his own business, go do what he gotta do, straight out view, not trying to be tough, not trying to be no gangster, minding his business, do what he do. But you catch him at everywhere. You be like, oh damn, this nigga at this club tonight. Oh damn, he was just performing with us in the cafeteria, rapping and shit. Oh, now he on Jamaica Ave, copping some sneakers and some t-shirts, go back to college. Oh shit, now he on the train going here. Like, see you everywhere, my nigga. Like, I thought you was from New York when I first bumped into you, but yeah, that's another dope story. But like, yeah, we gonna tell all that shit on this podcast. We hip hop natives. Shout out to all the natives. Shout out to all the warriors out there. We gonna tell our stories. We gonna keep putting out content. We got new music coming. Shout out to everybody who went on Spotify, shout out all the streaming platforms and show love on the music. All that right there, all that music, my whole catalog that I put on Spotify is just the shit from original beats from 10, 12, 13 years ago. The newest shit I got on there might be 5, 6 years old. We ain't put out no new music in forever. We got new music in the stash, but we just get familiar with the way we doing it on streaming platforms and how we want to roll stuff out, what's most beneficial for us. And we're going to be recording new music. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have guests on the podcast. We're going to be doing Zoom interviews, whatever we got to do, because it's still pandemic-y out here. Stay tuned for the next episode of Hip Hop Natives. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to like all my natives out there, warriors. Like I said, call, text the number 631-238-1031. Get your feedback. Give me some topics. Give me your questions. Anything you got, send it in. officialshop.bigcartel.com. Go get your merch. We there. We got new shit popping up every week. Thank y'all for your support. Everybody who's doing that shit. Follow me on Instagram at TheRealChiefA1. That's at TheRealChiefA1 on Instagram. Patreon, patreon.com/ChiefTV. We're going to be putting up new content there. We got the DVD. We got behind-the-scenes footage of some of these shows. We got Block TV exclusive clips. You know what I'm saying? Some of the interviews of one of my first, that probably like my first or second DVD that I put out. Got clips with everybody from Megan Good, Marlon Wayans, Nas, L. Cool J, Beanie Siegels, Melissa Ford, Jalissa from BET, like everybody. So like, stay tuned for that. We're going to chop that up and put some new clips out. It's your boy, The Real Chief A1. You're now watching Hip Hop Natives Podcast. A1.